What is up? Gear Squad, Chaingear here, bringing you another video, and today I'm going to talk about my most recent favorite FPS that I'm currently playing. It's not Call of Duty, it's not Star Wars Battlefront 2, it's not any of those really big AAA titles. It's actually a game that is kind of old at this point. Not super old. It came out on the PlayStation 4. It's also on PC, and it had some controversy around it. It's Paladins. The free-to-play, currently in beta, hero-based shooter Paladins. Now, I did a video on this a while back. It was just a stream, I believe. I might have had a separate video too, and it was all about Paladins, and I basically called it coloring book budget version of Overwatch, and I take back a lot of that stuff. Now, I still feel like the graphics in general are kind of like a coloring book.
Thank you, ally. Kill secure.
I'm not really sold on the graphics. I'm not loving the way that all the cartoon characters are, well, cartoony. But in terms of the gameplay, well, let's just dive right in. So first and foremost, I want to say this game is free to play. This game is free. It's not going to cost you anything. And it is similar to Overwatch and a couple other games as well, and we'll dive into that. But the number one thing is that you will lose nothing if you try this game. The only thing that you will admittedly lose is time. But I would highly recommend that you download this game and you give it a shot. If you like games like, if you like FPSs in general, I would definitely download this game and I would try it. But if you like hero-based shooters, or if you like, games like Overwatch, or maybe even if you like more action-oriented MOBA-style games, give this a check. Check this out. I really, really highly recommend it. Now, okay, I'm telling you guys you should try it. It's free to play, but why? Let's dive into the hero-based FPS portion of this, right? This is a hero-based shooter, and actually, I'm leading you astray. I said that this is a hero-based shooter, and I said FPS, but it's actually not just an FPS. This game has changed leaps and bounds from where it originally was. Now, when I first reviewed and streamed this game, it did not run well. It did not run well at all. It felt not good. It was choppy, at least on the PlayStation 4, and it just didn't feel like it was even made to be played on the PS4. It just seemed like it was a PC title ported over, and it wasn't doing very well. But now they've added a lot of new things. They've reworked a lot of the characters. They've added a ton of characters, and the gameplay just feels good. The gameplay feels fluid. There are tons of different types of heroes. There are tons of different types of champions, I should call them. That's what they are. It's paladins, champions of the realm, and there are all these different types of characters. There's Victor, who's your kind of your normal FPS guy. He's got the assault rifle. He goes in there, aim down sights. He can shoot and stuff like that. He has a grenade. He can sprint. And then you have someone as different as Willow, who is literally a fairy that shoots basically not grenades, but like magic bombs at people. You have Pip, who looks like Ratchet from Ratchet and Clank. He's just running around with a gun that shoots vials of health potions. You have Maldamba, who's a snake whisperer who can heal people. It's so cool. They have all different types of characters. If you like your FPS, I want a gun and I want to shoot people, you've got your character there. If you want to play kind of hardcore RPG MOBA style, like I want to be a healer or a support, that's there for you as well. You want to be a frontline and a tank? That's there. If you want to be a sneaky assassin that pisses everybody off, that is also, trust me, definitely there. And those are the 4 different types of styles of play, by the way. Frontline, which is like your tanks or your defense characters. There's kind of your damage characters. They're your DPS characters, right? They're kind of, not in the front line, but in the mid, doing a lot of damage, either kind of, not necessarily up close, but usually middle range, or maybe a little bit longer range with like snipers and such. There are your flank characters. These guys are sneaky. They turn invisible. They have high movement abilities. They do a lot of damage up close, spike damage, and then of course they're your supports, so people who will heal. I'm pretty sure every support at this point can heal, and it's awesome. Huge fan. Another thing they added in the game recently was third person, and as I mentioned, it's not just an FPS, it's now a third person shooter as well. If you click, I believe, the right stick, you'll actually go ahead and just go right out into third person. If you click it again, you'll go into first person. Now, I heard in competitive, that's not necessarily the case. I haven't actually played any competitive matches yet. I've just been playing either for bots, if I'm trying a new character out, squad or playing with somebody who hasn't played, or I play a ton of casual. And I'm a huge fan. The fact that I can switch in and out of third and first person honestly does make a huge difference for me. I have a lot more fun sometimes playing in third person. There are some characters that are just a lot more fun to me when I get to see the whole character. It's just so cool. And I think they're adding a lot of things in the game that people are asking for. They're really listening to their audience. So that's a different story, and I'll talk about that in a minute as well. But in general, that's the game. It's a hero-based FPS. Again, very similar to Overwatch. You have a payload game type, which is where your one team is pushing the payload, the other team tries to push the payload the same distance or faster. You have a siege mode where you try and get to the point, you hold it. Whoever holds it, till they get 100%, then gets a payload and pushes it to the point. Then there's also Onslaught, which is basically you're all trying to stay on, it's like a King of the Hill kind of mode, where you want to hold this giant circle. I love all of the modes. I think they feel really good. Some of the maps are, I wouldn't say unfair, they're not as fun as others, but in general, I don't complain about any of them. I love the design of all of them and things like that. But again, you can kind of see the similarities to maybe a game like Overwatch. So let's address the elephant in the room. There are three major games I think that Paladins is very similar to. One is Overwatch, a hero-based shooter that has a lot of similar characters. For example, my favorite character is Ruckus. He is kind of this tank frontliner that can absorb damage by creating a shield, a bit of a bubble shield around him. He has two Gatling guns that don't do a ton of damage, like just per bullet, but the amount of bullets he shoots out is quite a lot. So if you kind of ignore him, you're going to get burned down. He has rockets that he shoots out as well, and he has like this kind of jumping mechanic. Very similar to D.Va. Extremely similar to D.Va. There are lots of other characters that are like that. I don't need to dive into it. Victor's very similar to Soldier 76. And Roxas is like a mix between McCree and Reaper. But there are a lot of different characters that are very similar. There's also Paragon. Paragon is a MOBA made by Epic that is incredible. Love the game. It's very similar because of its MOBA roots in general. This play the objective mode, as well as, again, the similarities between the characters. So very, very similar there as well. And then lastly, Smite. The reason I say Smite is because it's made by the same developers. It's made by Hi-Rez Studios, and so the graphics are very, very similar. Some of the characters feel kind of similar, and the movement and such kind of feel similar as well. Granted, I do definitely like Paladins way more than Smite, but there are a lot of similarities. Now, I'm not going to say anything about that. I don't really care, frankly, about the similarities. If you do like those games, I think you'll like Paladins. The only thing I want to say from that is that this game has really come into its own. A lot of people don't like Overwatch. A lot of people don't want to play Overwatch. Obviously, the majority of people do. But the fact that it is free is great. And it keeps Overwatch on their toes, and it keeps Paladins on their toes. They keep each other balanced, I think, in a lot of ways. The last thing that I want to mention before I end this video is that this game is in beta. And I love games that are in beta. I love games that are in early access, that are free to the public, so you can go ahead and hop in. It does have microtransactions that I've never spent any... actually, that's not true. I paid for the Founders Pack, which I do recommend. There's a Founders Pack. They have these packs that come out that you can buy, like, a bundle of things, which I like a lot better than just, like, buy loot boxes or something like that. So, they do have, like, a Founders Pack and things like that, but I have all the characters unlocked because of the Founders Pack, etc. Lots of other things in there, but it's in beta. And the beta portion that I want to mention is just the fact that it's always changing. There are some huge updates coming down the line. They're very vocal. I don't know if they have a Discord, actually, now that I think about it, but their Twitter is very active. Their community is super active. Their YouTube channel is very active. So anyway, this is a public service announcement. Go ahead, download Paladins, and give it a shot. We'll be discussing it in the Discord. My Discord, which you can see in the description below. I'm loving it. I'm really, really enjoying it. I honestly have played it almost every single day at this point. So, again, if you're interested and you guys want to hang out, you want to talk about it, let me know in the comment section below. If you want to chat more about this, if you want to see me play the game a bit and show you some of the different heroes, how about I stream it for you guys as well? Let me know if you're interested in seeing a stream of Paladins. If you guys want to talk a little bit more about it, again, comment section below and join me in the Discord. Alright, that's basically it. This wasn't necessarily a review. I guess you could kind of say it was a little bit of a review, but I love this game and I hope you guys give it a shot. Thanks so much. Like it if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it, but let me know why in the comment section below. I always want to make these videos better for you guys. Again, thank you so much. I'll see you online, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!
15 seconds remaining. 10, 9, 8, 6.